It may be the offseason, but that doesn't mean that the Lakers aren't involved in trade rumors. That's right. Two former Boston Celtics, I know that's gross Laker fans, but two former Boston Celtics are linked to potentially be wearing the purple and gold for your Los Angeles Lakers this year. Welcome to Lakers Digest. My name is Hunter Pitcoff, where we cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. Believe it or not, guys, next week is NBA training camp, the start of real actual basketball on October 1st, the first of the month. The rent's due and basketball is due. We are this freaking close to being back to NBA season. And if you guys aren't already subscribed, you better be subscribed right now, because there's a whole lot of shadow viewers right now in our videos. That's right. Only 18% of you guys are subscribed, and the rest of you are all chilling back on the sidelines, rocking it on the bench, not wanting to be a part of this channel. And all I ask is why. You guys watch the videos anyway, so you might as well subscribe so you know when all of our videos are coming out. And we got a pretty funky one to talk about today, and that is going to be, like I said, an NBA insider linking the Lakers to multiple guards. That insider being Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report. He put out an article earlier today about the Lakers and some of the targets that they may be looking to add to bolster this roster, to revamp this roster. And some of these guys were pretty typical names, like the Zach LaVines, the Trey Youngs of the world, guys that just keep coming up. But he brought up a couple names that are pretty interesting, you don't hear very often, as well as guys who I actually think have a shot on being on this team. And the first guy is going to be Marcus Smart. And is he a smart fit for your Los Angeles Lakers? So this is directly from Eric Pincus's article here. Marcus Smart currently on the books for $20.2 million, remaining on a 2-year deal. And he pretty much was just saying how, look, the Grizzlies last season may just be an anomaly. They probably aren't that bad. They won 51 games in 2023, all the way down to pretty much cut in half to 27 games. A lot of it was just so many injuries they had. Ja Morant, the whole shenanigans with him, and that they brought in someone like Marcus Smart to really help out that team. But if Ja Morant's back, if Desmond Bane's back, that's going to be a fully healthy starting backcourt, as well as Jaren Jackson, who's due for a new deal in a couple of years. So it would be pretty interesting to see Marcus Smart on the LA Lakers. One, because he was going to war with the Lakers for so many years when he was with Boston, and it'd be kind of ironic to see him come to the Lakers. But we've seen this happen before, right? Rajon Rondo, good example. Not the same player, but that was another Boston guard that ended up winning a championship with the LA Lakers. If you want to look at Marcus Smart's stats here from last season now, granted, guys, he only played in 20 games, which is insane to think, because he's a pretty durable guy. He did have a injury to one of his fingers that kept him out for a ton of time. And I personally think that the Memphis Grizzlies were pretty much just tanking the season away, and that they really weren't all that concerned with bringing Marcus Smart back. In fact, they probably wanted to play it safe. And is Marcus Smart a smart fit for the Los Angeles Lakers? On one hand, yes. I think Marcus Smart is just a winner. Like, the man, you can't just look at the stat sheet to value what he brings to a team, because he is a legitimate leader. He only 2 years ago won Defensive Player of the Year. First guard to win Defensive Player of the Year since Gary Payton did it in the 90s. So it's been a long time since someone was capable of doing that. He was more than deserving of winning that award that year. I know Boston fans, their organization, were heartbroken when they traded him away. Clearly, it was the right move to trade him for Porzingis, because they ended up winning a championship because of it. But again, Marcus Smart is a guy who is a true leader in the locker room. He's an absolute dog on the court, and he's going to do whatever it takes to win. And he's going to be an absolute hustle machine. And I think the Lakers have missed that dog on the team for quite some time. Now, in Pincus's article, he talks about the Lakers moving off of a guy like D'Angelo Russell, maybe a Jalen Hood-Schifino. That's 2 point guards you're trading for another guard. I think Marcus Smart would fit in that starting backcourt next to Austin Reaves and next to a Rui Hachimura, LeBron AD frontcourt. But at the same time, though, I don't know if the Memphis Grizzlies would really want D'Angelo Russell because they're trading away a guard for another guard. And I don't think D'Angelo Russell is going to want to come off the bench for John Morant or Desmond Bane. So perhaps that'd be a 3-team deal, something like that. Again, Jalen Hood-Schifino was in that deal. I don't know if they're going to want him either. So, again, there's a lot of moving parts there. I think the Grizzlies are going to try to contend. I don't think their 27 wins bad, but I'm not sure they're going to get up to 50-plus wins because the Western Conference has gotten a lot better. So if things go downhill for the Grizzlies, perhaps they're not as good as they want to be this year. A guy like Marcus Smart could very well be on the trade block and someone that the Lakers could, in fact, target this upcoming season. Now, another guy to really keep an eye on for the Los Angeles Lakers is a guy who was formerly a Sixth Man of the Year candidate and would have a chance to be your starting point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers, and that guy is Malcolm Brogdon. Now, Malcolm Brogdon here, if you look at the stats, he is a pretty solid player, right? I mean, he brings something that Marcus Smart doesn't, which is shooting. He shot over 41% from 3 this year. However, it is worth noting, though, and you guys know this too, that Malcolm Brogdon doesn't really play a lot of basketball because he's always hurt. And something that really concerns me, he's 32 years old. He's not a young chicken, a spring chicken, if you want to call him anymore, in the NBA. And last season, he missed a lot of time due to tendonitis in his right elbow. And, you know, if you all watch basketball, this is how you shoot. Every time he shoots a basketball, it hurts. And there's something wrong there. That is very concerning. If your elbow, it's like, a pitcher getting Tommy John surgery. And I know you all are flaming me for my comments about baseball here with my Austin Reaves, D'Angelo Russell, and Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter comps. Guys, come on. I was not saying they're as good as them. I'm just saying the play styles and the personalities are fairly similar, all right? Y'all got to chill with that for real. But no, and in all honesty, though, I do appreciate the comments, guys. Please be sure to leave comments, good or bad. And I always try my best to respond to you guys in a fun, playful manner. So, we're talking about Malcolm Brogdon here, right? He's not young. He's had knee injuries. I mean, the guy has had every single injury you possibly can imagine. So, for the Lakers, this is not a trade where they'd have to give up a lot. And just to remind you guys, too, Malcolm Brogdon is now on the Washington Wizards. He got traded for Denny Avdija in that trade with Portland. So, Malcolm Brogdon now in the Wizards. Now you think, all right, the Wizards are pretty bad. They're going to want to move off a guy like him. But I was looking at their depth chart. They don't have any point guards on the team. He's really the only point guard that they have. I mean, Bub Carrington, maybe, if you want to throw him into the fire right away, he could play the point guard position, although I really see him more as a combo guard. I guess Malcolm Brogdon is too, but he would, when healthy, be a really nice fit next to Austin Reaves because he's a really good defender, doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective, and can really shoot the ball. And, again, is a 39% career three-point shooter. So everywhere he's gone, whether it be Milwaukee, Indiana, Boston, Portland, and now Washington, he's been able to shoot lights out from the perimeter. And that'd be someone that the Lakers could definitely use. But at the same time, though, I'd rather have D'Angelo Russell. Like, he's a better basketball player. And I know you guys are flaming D'Angelo Russell. He's taking a lot of heat. I get that. And I understand he's probably the most realistic trade asset, best trade asset that the Lakers have because they're not moving off LeBron. They're not moving off Anthony Davis. And they're not, probably not, I should say, moving off Austin Reaves. So the next valuable asset you have is D'Angelo Russell, who's on an expiring deal and can score 18 to 20 points a game while being one of your best playmakers as well on your team. But you don't just trade him for nothing. And so Malcolm Brogdon and Marcus Smart does raise our final question here, guys. Should the Lakers make the calls? Now, I don't think they should turn down the opportunities. I personally am not a huge fan of either of these trades. I like the Marcus Smart one a little bit more, but I think if they gave up someone like Jared Vanderbilt in that deal, it'd make a little more sense because Marcus Smart is kind of similar to what Jared Vanderbilt is. He's not as tall as Vando, but he's a more experienced player who has more of a winning pedigree than Jared Vanderbilt, so perhaps the Lakers find that enticing. I just think having both of them on your team just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And I just don't know if the Lakers have the assets to give Memphis that they're actually looking for. So I think if Marcus Smart became a Laker, I would not be opposed to it. I'd be happy for him, and I think he'd definitely provide some value. But I do think that there probably would need to be a third team involved somehow in order to really make the trade happen. So I'm just not really quite sure that it would happen. And then Malcolm Brogdon, I think they can get Malcolm Brogdon. I should also say, too, that in that Eric Pincus article, he looped in Jonas Valanciunas as well. I don't know if he's going to want to play for the Lakers because he didn't want to play for them in the first place and could have signed with them for more money, but didn't. And he wanted to go to Washington instead. But we've talked about on this channel plenty of times how Jonas Valanciunas would make a lot of sense as a backup big for Anthony Davis, and maybe getting him and Malcolm Brogdon as complementary players rather than relying on them as full-time starters actually could make a lot of sense. But, I think both those guys are over 30 years old, and I don't think they're going to be real difference makers. And I would prefer the Lakers to trade for guys of similar skill sets, but maybe perhaps a little bit younger, since they kind of want to play this middle ground of we're competing for a championship but also want to look toward the future. So I don't know if trading for 30-year-old guys would necessarily be the move to do that. But let me know in the comments. Do you think that trading for Marcus Smart makes a lot of sense? Do you think trading for Malcolm Brogdon makes a lot of sense? Or do you not? And I know, guys, they're former Celtic players. It's gross, but we've seen this happen before. Rajon Rondo, for example, went from being a Celtic to a Laker and won a championship with us. And on top of that as well, let's not forget about Rick Fox, who also played for the Celtics and won championships with the Lakers. So if you want a little bit of a throwback there, if you're a little bit of a younger viewer, you may not know who Rick Fox is. So do your research. Go look up some Rick Fox highlights, and you'll see why he was a pretty valuable member of that Lakers team back in the early 2000s. So thank you all for watching, as always. And like I said, training camp starts next week, October 1st, and the Lakers have their first preseason game on Friday, October 4th, guys. It is right around the corner, so subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys, and keep leaving those comments. I will come at you respectfully. If you come at me respectfully, we'll have some fun conversations down below. So thank you all for watching Lakers Digest. We'll keep you up to date. Till next time.